It was raining the day she handed me the divorce papers. No soft drizzle, no gentle gray. It poured, slicing down from the sky like punishment, cold and unrelenting. The kind of rain that soaks through bone and memory alike. We were standing at my mother's grave. No shelter, no umbrella. Just a slick black folder she held like a contract, ready to be executed. Her makeup was flawless. Her expression calm. Not a single tear in her eyes. "I want everything," she said without sparing a glance at the headstone. The name carved in the granite, Margaret Steele, blurred through my tears as I stared at it. My wife, Claire, stood beside me like this was a hostile takeover instead of a funeral. Chin lifted, posture straight, her voice cold as law. "You're a worthless soldier," she said. "You've always been broken. But now at least you'll be broke too." I didn't fight her. I didn't argue. I just signed. Quietly. Hands steady. She laughed. Actually laughed. That kind of cruel little laugh people use when they think they've finally won. "Finally giving up," she said. I handed her an envelope. She frowned. "What's this?" "Your inheritance." Something like that. I replied. She ripped it open with the kind of anticipation reserved for lottery tickets. What followed wasn't laughter, but a scream. "Keep reading," I said. The second page made her knees give out. She dropped into mud, elegant hair now streaked with rain, mascara running at last. And as she clutched that envelope like it might erase what she'd read, I just stood there, watching her fall apart, remembering how we ever reached this place. There was a time Claire kissed my forehead when I jolted awake, shaking and sweat-drenched from nightmares I brought back from Afghanistan. I'd lost pieces of myself I couldn't name, but she made me feel whole again. Or at least she pretended well enough. I returned from the war with less money, less direction, but more love for her than I ever thought I could carry. She once seemed to love that version of me. The wounded hero who flinched at fireworks but still pulled her close. The man who limped but never stopped walking forward. We bought a small home using my VA loan. She filled it with color and softness. Cooked meals, made it feel like peace might be possible. She laughed at my dark humor, held my hand in the dark, whispered promises into my scars. But peace, I learned, bored her. And when the disability checks slowed, so did her affections. At first, it was late nights at work. Passwords changed. Her phone always flipped upside down on the table. She said I was paranoid, said I needed more therapy. So I went. I tried. I really tried. But I also saw the lipstick that wasn't hers. The Uber rides to nowhere. The hotel key buried in the wrong coat pocket. I never confronted her. Not once. I just watched. Watched her come home with lies caught in her lashes and the scent of someone else's cologne clinging to her skin. Watched her drain our joint account while I quietly pawned my father's watch to keep the lights on. I was supposed to be weak. A broken veteran, lucky to be loved. She didn't remember that I was trained to wait, to observe, to collect intelligence, and strike only when the target felt safest. So I waited a full year. She played her role. I played mine. I smiled through every lie, nodded through every insult, signed whatever she put in front of me. She thought I was unraveling. In truth, I was building, layer by layer, a legal trap so silent, so precise, it would hold even after everything else crumbled. The house? Not in my name. Never was. It belonged to a trust, my mother's, set up before I was even married. Claire thought she'd get half. She was wrong. That business she opened under my name to tank my credit, I let her. Then I documented everything. Emails, texts, voicemails. She never knew my burner phone recorded all her late-night calls, her threats, her sweet whispers to another man. The day before she tried to gut me at my mother's grave, I met with my attorney, my real attorney. "You sure you're ready?" he asked, looking at the final paperwork. I just nodded. One nod was all it took. So there we stood. She held her folder like a trophy. I handed her mine like a mirror, what she expected. Deeds, money, maybe a payout from life insurance. What she got? A letter from the lawyer of my mother's estate stating clearly, legally, she was entitled to nothing. Attached, a file of fraudulent transactions, all tied back to her. A court summons, charges of wire fraud, identity theft, perjury. And on the final page, a photo, her and him, the man from the Uber receipts, his face circled in red. Beneath it, in bold lettering, Special Agent Declan Shaw, U.S. State Department, undercover assignment. She crumpled. Didn't know he worked for the federal government. Didn't know I was his handler. Didn't know the affair had been engineered. Emails written under my direction, rendezvous staged, phone calls monitored. The evidence was airtight, admissible, lethal. I crouched beside her in the mud as she sobbed. I warned you once, I whispered. Don't betray someone who has nothing left to lose. Her lips trembled. Please? But I was already standing. I looked back at the grave. My mother, the last person who ever truly loved me. Everything else around us? Just debris now. I buried the only person who mattered. I said, the rest of this is just cleanup. Police came 2 hours later. I wasn't there. I'd gone home, burned the couch she loved, donated her dresses, blocked every number, every email, every trace of her. When they asked what I wanted in return, I told them one word: peace. She got 5 years. Fraud, tax evasion, obstruction. She wept in court, claimed I had manipulated her, that I orchestrated it all. She wasn't wrong, but the judge read her own text out loud, line by damning line. I sat in the back of the courtroom, silent, still. She looked for me when they cuffed her. I didn't blink. People ask if I regret it. No, because revenge isn't rage. It isn't loud. It's clarity. It's patience. It's truth. It's watching someone dig their own grave and handing them the shovel